Antonio Moran, Jeffrey Torres will be the first two to battle in our last chance tournament. There are the brackets. There are the matchups for tonight. And Roy, like you said at the top of the show, this is the last chance.
Last chance. This guy, I mean, what's good is Jeffrey Torres only has one loss. That's pretty impressive. But Moran has a lot of experience too, so he's up against a very savvy veteran. This is a great fight that's about to unfold in front of us.
Our first matchup, last chance. 26-5-1 Mexican slugger Antonio Moran has been in tough. If Moran wants all the years of dripping blood and gallons of sweat and a tear or two to pay off, the 10-year pro knows he has to win this tournament. He says things are looking up with a new trainer leading the way. This could be Antonio Moran's last chance to show everybody he's somebody, not a mere contender, but a world championship level fighter all of Mexico can be proud of. Jeffrey Torres, age 25, with a 10-1 record against mid-level competition, is not a favorite to win the last chance tournament. But dismissing his chances might not be a wise play. He's a proud Puerto Rican living in Philadelphia, learning the trade and being patient, awaiting his big break. We asked Torres if this event was his last chance at getting noticed by the right people. He replied, "That's how I'm looking at it. You underestimate me, you're making a big mistake. Last chance viewers will see for themselves." Our tail of the tape for this first matchup at 140 pounds. All of these fights scheduled for 8 rounds. 29-year-old fighting out of Mexico City, Mexico, will have a 7-inch reach advantage against the Puerto Rican with ties to Philadelphia, now training out of New Haven, Connecticut. With the official introductions of our first last chance battle, Mark Lichtenfeld.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, this is our first quarterfinal bout of tonight's last chance 140-pound tournament. All 4 bouts of the quarterfinal bouts will be scheduled for 8 rounds. Your referee in charge of this contest is Michael DeJesus. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black with gray. He weighed in at 139 pounds. With a record of 10 wins, just 1 loss, 6 wins by way of knockout. Fighting out of New Haven, Connecticut, by way of Puerto Rico, please welcome Jeffrey El Bendecido Torres. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks. He weighed in at 139.6 pounds. With a record of 26 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, with 19 wins by knockout. From Mexico City, Mexico, please welcome Antonio Moran.
Boxer, let's go. All right. Told y'all the rules in the locker room and in the corner. You know how to touch whatever you want to. If not, go back to the corner.
First of our 4 quarterfinal matchups. Go to ProBoxTV.com right now and subscribe. Antonio Moran, Jeffrey Torres, scheduled for 8 rounds. Here we go. It's time to fight.
Beautiful thing here is we got this old rivalry, Mexico versus Puerto Rico in our first fight. You gotta love it, guys. This is what ProBoxTV is all about.
Black trunks for Antonio Moran. Jeffrey Torres in the black with silver accent.
Moran coming out fast and letting his hands go quickly.
You can see why he's the favorite in this tournament. And when I looked at this draw, man, I was like, this could be a bad draw for Torres, because when I look at Torres and his record, he has more upside, I believe, than most in this tournament.
Yeah,
but he got a bad draw with the favorite right out the gate.
Yeah, and Moran's been very, very active here in the first 45 seconds of the fight.
Fought Devin Haney back in 2019. Antonio Moran is coming off a fight in which he went the 10-round distance with Arnold Barboza Jr. back in August of last year. So they say been in tough. He has been in tough, Paulie.
Yeah, he has, and he knows his way around the ring because he's been in tough. Torres lands a couple of shots there, but for me, Torres is, throughout the first minute and 15 seconds, has had some trouble closing the gap a little bit. He reaches in there with a body shot, but Moran has been meeting him with punches, and it's made Torres' life difficult trying to make his way inside.
And you see Torres is giving up pretty much on the jab, and that was the only chance he had in order to get inside, break Antonio down, but he got to get behind that front hand instead of leaning in with the right.
Well, Moran is definitely staying busy with that jab. Speaking of jab.
Worthy of note, Roy, you talked about Mexico, Puerto Rico. Antonio Moran was 23-2. His first 25 fights were in Mexico. Came to fight in the U.S. for the first time and lost a 10-round unanimous decision to Puerto Rican Jose Pedraza. So he wants to, this battle means a little to him because it brings back bad memories.
A little get back, huh?
You got that right.
Well, Pedraza, another guy, he became a world champion after that.
Yep. So Haney, Barboza, Pedraza. That's why I think this Antonio is favored by many to be the last man standing and taking full advantage of his last chance.
Yeah, he's a seasoned vet. I mean, with those names he's been in the ring with, and not only been in the ring with, but the way he performed. I mean, that's why he's the favorite. You can tell he's under control. He's not overreacting. It's the way he go about his business in the ring. It's a bit different than what we've seen so far.
And he punches at different ranges. He's in close, he'll punch. From the outside, he'll punch. While on the other hand, you can tell Torres wants to be at a certain distance before he punches. He has a hard time letting his hands go or even punching his way in. He's reaching. He's not using his jab, as you mentioned earlier in the round, Antonio. He's just trying to force shots from weird distances, and Moran beats him to the punch most of the time.
And that's that mental pressure that Antonio Moran is putting on him right now. And you can tell this is how you break these guys. If you can't break them physically, break them mentally.
Necesito que no te quedes enfrente, no lo cargues, ¿ok? Pégalo luego, paso lateral, estíralo. Ajá, llámalo más y por dentro, pum, y remátalas. Insístale más abajo, ¿vale? Agua.
Paulie, the advice in that corner.
Well, I think Moran has had a good first round. And I think, if he can keep Torres off balance like this with this activity and just keeping him on the end of those punches, it seems like Torres gets a bit timid and doesn't respond in the way he should, and when he does respond, he's frustrated. He's trying to throw one or two at a time, and that's sort of worked. I mean, if the adjustments are on the hands of Moran, of Torres at this point, he's got to use that jab first and foremost to work his way inside, and then punching combinations once he gets there, and he's still not using that jab.
And those things you mentioned, I believe, this inexperience. He's only had 11 fights. So he still is a work in progress, Torres is, and he's in there with a veteran.
33rd professional fight, Roy, for Antonio Moran. 19 of his 26 wins by knockout.
Well, what Moran understands is that all contact in 10-ounce or 8-ounce gloves is good contact. That's what the young cat Torres does not understand yet. He hasn't had enough fights to understand that taking those punches with your hands on your face is just as bad as getting hit with them.
Yeah, and you're right, Roy, because that also stresses the mentality as well. It's that mental pressure, too. Shots always coming your way. You're not answering.
Makes you keep your hand home even more.
Yep, exactly.
And that's why he doesn't seem to show a jab, because he's worried about getting hit, because everything he does is in close, He puts himself in close all the time. That's how you fight a taller guy sometimes, but you got to use a jab at some point. That was a good shot.
That was a good counter right hand. But, Roy, to your point, exactly. These guys got to master distance. Sometimes you're in so close, you got to have alligator arms to be effective.
Yep.
Get your range and let that work for you. Good counter.
And I tell you what, one thing Moran's done, Torres had a big crowd here, and Moran has taken Torres' crowd out of the fight.
Jeffrey Torres coming off a first-round TKO victory 84 days ago.
Good shot.
His third straight win. His last 3 wins have all come by knockout. A first-round stop, a second-round finish, and a first-round finish back in October of 2021.
But sometimes when you get those knockouts like that early, that's what does not allow you to develop that jab and how to create that distance to be most effective. And because he has those early knockouts like that, it makes us wonder the caliber of the opponents he fought, because we see clearly he's a great inside fighter. He throws good punches inside, but he does not know how to use his jab to get inside.
I see what Torres is trying to do now. He feels that he's going to have to counter Antonio Moran in order to get him in trouble. But I believe he has power on those shots, the way he's throwing them.
He does, but he's giving up too many shots, Tony.
To get it.
You feel me? Giving up way too many shots to be effective later on. The further this fight goes, the worse it's going to be for him.
Yeah, and Moran is a vet guy who's been in with top fighters. Even if you do get his attention with a big shot, he's not going to really break his will that easily. But Moran is the kind of guy, he's at a pretty good level in his career.
Now, to Torres' credit, he does have those hands high. He's catching a lot of those shots on the glove. But Antonio Moran is being effective. Watch those counters. I believe Torres is going to get close with a counter here shortly.
I'll tell you, I like how Torres picked up the pace a little bit in the last third of that round. Let's see if he can take that momentum into round 3. He got Moran. Moran still was active, but he got Moran backing up a lot more uncomfortably than he was before that.
¿Qué te dije? Cuando tires la derecha te la va a parar. Entonces, ¿qué haces? ¡Pum! Aquí te lo va. Acuérdate, te lo para. Ábrele los brazos para que cierre más y pícale abajo. Pum, 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 pum.
And then basically they would tell Moran in the corner. They would tell Moran in the corner, catch those shots and shoot right back. When he's throwing those shots at your body, make sure you got your guard up and then be ready to shoot right back at him. And that's sort of to counter the hard shots Torres was trying to throw in there on the inside.
Antonio Moran had some decent moments in his fight against Devin Haney. Showed decent hand speed, likes to lead right to the body, as we have seen. Lost some steam as it got later on, and then the fast hands of Haney did the damage in the finish.
And that may be why, what's his name? Torres is fighting the way he's fighting. He's thinking that he can possibly wear Moran down. Yep. If you wear him around down like Haney did, it's possible he can get him out of there.
And although his last 3 fights, Roy, have ended very early, the 3 prior to that were 6-round fights that all went the distance. Round 3.
Now, Torres can't afford to have his back against the ropes with a veteran like Moran. He's going to have to either pivot off of there or get up under that heat. Good right hand by Torres. Look like the exchanges now, Paul.
Yeah,
they're exchanging.
Torres seems like he's more determined to come forward now, whether he's taking shots or throwing shots. He just has to come forward. He's trying to put that mental pressure back onto Moran. But Moran is answering with shots, and Torres is not.
He definitely can't beat Moran backing up. He has to go forward to beat Moran.
I like his counter-punching ability, though. I think he's getting closer.
Well, he landed some good counter shots this round. He landed some good ones last round. But he got to keep going forward as he counters.
But is it enough in comparison to what Moran is doing? Well, I'll tell you what, this round's showing you why they call this thing last chance. Because Torres seems like he was about to mentally, just give in a little bit. Now he's just going for it. And Moran is not going to give in to him either.
I love the way Torres is putting those little quick combinations together. There you go.
Like Roy said, last chance. If these guys don't come in hungry, they shouldn't have walked in the door.
And both of these guys are hungry, and they're showing it right now.
Oh, Moran going from southpaw to orthodox.
And you saw that
right hand, little move.
That was Pee Wee Whitaker type.
Final fight, our Christmas gift to you before we would love to have you as a loyal fan at ProBoxTV.com.
Good body
Good
shot.
body shot, yep.
Yeah, if you like what you're watching, go to ProBoxTV.com. You'll be able to watch the rest of this card.
And you'll get the podcast material, Paulie, like you guys breaking down the upcoming fight.
Good counter.
Hey, I think that shoulder roll is in full effect right now. he did it twice and caught it with the right hand.
The upcoming fight, Haney and Kambosos, June 5th in Melbourne, Australia. Check out the podcast. Roy, Antonio, and Paulie break that and other big fights forthcoming down. We cover everything. We're about promoting the sport and putting on great battles. And these men have delivered the early part of our last chance tournament. Exactly what we hoped for.
These guys are looking like this is their last chance.
Both fighting desperation, hungry.
Both
Neither guy wanted to give in.
Giving it their best.
Torres might have woke up late, but he woke up.
He woke up.
Usando tuya para entrar, gancho derecha abajo y combinaciones. No quieres dos golpes. Por eso es que quiere tener afuera. Ya sintió las manos, él va a querer seguir moviéndose. Tú tienes que tirar combinaciones y cortar el camino. Corta el ring. Mete los ganchos derechos duros por debajo.
Jeffrey
y
Torres,
termina con los
born
ganchos
in
arriba.
Puerto
Y cuando vaya a tirar un gancho, no lo tire solo.
Lived in
Ten compañía,
Philadelphia, now
boom,
training
abajo y arriba.
with Luis Rosa. His cut man is Jesse Thompson
Vamos, moviendo la
in
cintura y
New
trabajando más
Haven,
busy.
Connecticut.
Your head as well. So stop doing that. Go back, back.
Our first quarterfinal continues, round 4. Moran in the solid black, Torres in the black and silver, and like you said, Antonio, man, they're coming out.
Moran comes out throwing heat early.
Roy Torres really wants to be inside, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He likes the end game. He likes to fight inside. He's nothing like the normal, traditional Puerto Rican fighter who loves to move around and box. He's a straight ahead.
Ooh.
He's more like the Mexican here. The Mexican like to be close chest to chest. He's acting like he's a Mexican. He's trying to get chest to chest with the Mexican.
He's trading right now with Moran. He's trading.
Yeah, and he's forcing Moran's output to stay high. I wonder how this will affect Moran's conditioning later in the fight.
Because he came out very fast this round.
Antonio Moran coming off that fight against Arnold Barboza Jr. back in August. Barboza now 26-0. That was a 10-round fight. It went the distance.
One thing you do see about Moran, and this is how you know he's a veteran. You very see him when we talked about a few slaps with the younger guys. You very rarely see Moran slap. Most of the punches he throws are thrown correctly with the knuckles.
He's not loading up or winging them, coming over. Most everything is straight and compact, and effective punching.
And when you throw them right like that, you don't have to wing them because they're going to be hard anyway.
Exactly.
Torres trying to dig into the body.
Torres knows he's going to have to land a shot here to turn this fight around, because right now, those type of combinations, Moran is taking over this fight.
That roll counted, though, I tell you, man. Torres seems to like it. Works, right?
I love that shoulder roll he's using. Come off that right hand right there. I love it.
Now, if he can mix that shoulder roll up with some good inside combinations, he got an educated right hand. It's like he blocked defensively and come right over with offense. Again, one punch at a time, Paulie. I like to see combinations. There you go.
Well, Moran is listening to you. Moran throws him in combination. Torres only once in a while.
That was 2 good punches by Torres, though. Right there. Good shot. There it is.
That roll counter
There's
again.
a combination. A 3-punch combination.
There you come.
Yep.
Torres on the counter scores. And he's trying to make this a dogfight, Roy.
Well, Moran starts the round out strong, and Torres ends the round strong.
Yeah.
But again, I'm seeing Torres hesitate a little bit. Good combination.
Moran with a big right hand.
What exchange.
Good body shot. Yes.
This is what ProBoxTV is all about.
Here comes Torres. He's leaning in with that right hand instead of coming with the...
This is both guys are fighting like it's the last piece of, like it's the last bone in the yard, and like they're 2 dogs.
Last chance,
Last chance, baby. Great round.
Moran changed corners since September of last year.
They late with the stool getting in.
You can't have that now.
Everybody does not talk about changing corners. Moran with some solid combinations.
Some action from that round. That was a nice combination by Torres. And they're on the uppercut by Moran as well. Good two-way exchange there. And then there's a good body shot. That was a nice body shot by Torres. Followed with a chopping right hand to the head.
Best body shot of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That part.
And especially after Moran had just let some shots go, so you're trying to re-oxygenate. You take a body shot like that, you're gonna have more trouble re-oxygenating.
Round 5. Each last chance fight scheduled for 8 rounds. Moran in the black, Torres in the black and silver. Antonio, if you're scoring this fight thus far, where does it stand?
Man, it's a very, very close fight, but I do have to give the lead to Moran right now. It seems like he won the first 2 rounds. Torres made it, contested the last 2. It's a good fight. It's really simmering to be a barn burner.
Yeah, it's not an easy round of fight to score. After the first 2 rounds, I think even Moran kind of won the 3rd round, but round 4, man, you started making cases for Torres, and we'll see if he can continue this momentum, because he's determined to come forward. But Moran, he cannot let Moran outwork him like this, so he's just going to keep giving it back.
And Roy, that's exactly what you said. Good start of that round for Moran.
Yep.
Great finish for Torres.
That's how it's been happening lately. Moran starts out really good. Torres ends it really strong. So we have to see what happens. I do have Moran winning right now, I think. I think he won 3 rounds to 1. But if Torres is coming on at the end like that, he may come on at the end of the fight like this. So we'll see what happens. Good punches by Moran. And good spin out afterwards.
And that's what this is how this fight has really gone. Moran beats him to the punch, and by the time Torres reacts, Moran is gone.
Yeah.
Good counter hook.
Yeah. Until we get to the second half of the round, and then Torres starts to catch up to him. Let's see if this happens again in this round now.
Good hook.
I'll tell you, Torres starts to usually close the gap in this part of the round. But right now, Moran boxing nicely on the outside.
What Torres had to do is what he did right there. You got to put more punches together. If he puts more punches together, he'll land that 3rd and 4th punch more often, and it'll be better for him. With Moran, he got to punch and get out. Don't stay there, just like that. Punch and get out of there. Don't stay there. If you stay there, you give it right back. You can't stay there, just like that.
Exactly. The difference I see is Moran doesn't have to be set to punch, and it looks like Torres has to get set maybe 2 seconds before he punches, and it's too late for him to be effective.
It seems like Torres wants to land the perfect punch. Like he gets in there, he's a little tight, he's trying to land that perfect punch. Moran doesn't care what kind of punch he hits you with, he's just hitting you.
Which is why I say you should get out afterwards, because Torres you got to beat up for a minute for Torres to get you back.
So that's the biggest adjustment you would want to see from Antonio Moran.
Right, exactly. So he should have moved off the line right there. He stayed on the line, see? He stays there, you give it right back.
Let go. Right.
What a way to start our last chance tournament. Go to ProBoxTV.com right now. Big shot.
I tell you, for Torres, if only these rounds are 4 minutes, Torres would have.
Oh, good combination to finish the round.
Tienes que tener más ganas de ganar. Tienes que tirar combinaciones. Está llegando donde él y estás esperando a estar cómodo. Si no estás cómodo, como quiera tienes que tirar. Él no se va a quedar quieto para que tú lo golpees el cuerpo. Lo tienes agolpeado y lo dejas ir atrás. Lo tienes agolpeado y lo dejas ir. Y él te tira un par de golpes y se va en punto. No estás ganando ahora mismo. Está peleando bien, pero no estás ganando ahora mismo. Tienes que pelear. Cuando ya vea, mete los ganchos por debajo, termina arriba.
Si quiere pasarle pañito.
¿Qué más agua? ¿Qué más agua?
Favorite part of every round seems to be the end of the round for Jeffrey Torres. Our first quarterfinal continues, round 6, 140-pound tournament.
Good jab. Looks like Torres coming out to be a little bit more assertive in this round. He's being very aggressive.
Yeah, he's gonna have to give himself a shot at this fight. He's got to make it happen now. He's got to start making it happen now and get to Moran from the get-go in each and every one of these next rounds.
And he's starting to use a jab now. That's very impressive. He didn't use it at all the first half of the fight, but now he's starting to use it.
He was just bulldogging inside throughout the early part, right, Roy?
Yep, there's no jab at all. Now he's using that jab every now and then. It makes it better for him, and it changes the way that his attack levels. Gives him more distance.
The problem for Torres, though, is in the time you were saying that, Roy, Moran threw about 8 jabs, and Torres didn't even throw one.
And again, I just believe that's because if you look at the pro, look at his footwork. He's galloping in the ring. He's not walking. Yep. Look at Torres. Good hook. He's walking, and it takes him longer to get set.
Yep.
Good right hand.
Good right hand.
Torres over the top.
Yeah, good observation, Antonio. Those subtle little technical foundations really go a long way in close competitive fights.
It does. Ooh, good right hand, a good counter. Right back by Antonio Moran. Beautiful.
Paul, I didn't say he was a jabber. I said he used it every now and then. Don't get it twisted.
I know. No, because I saw you observed it, and I'm like, all right, you were seeing him. And then I'm like, man, just as Royce complimented him, he stopped using it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not quite a jabber, just a jab.
He's falling in with that right hand like that. He has to stay behind that right hand. Don't get in front of the power.
Deepest fight of a professional matchup for Jeffrey Torres has been 6 rounds. We have a minute on the clock here in round 6.
And let's not forget, this is a tournament, so the winner will be advancing.
Oh,
good right hand. Oh, another one.
Torres gaining momentum here.
There we go.
He smothered himself. He did all that good work, and then he smothered himself.
That right hand is educated, though. The way he's throwing it. Oh, good hook.
But Torres throws that right hand.
Oh.
Torres again with the combination.
That second and third punch. That second and third punch.
Jeffrey Torres may have the thinner resume, but he believes in himself, and you can see why.
Man, this young man is growing up right before our eyes, Paulie.
Man, but I'll tell you something with Torres. It makes me laugh a little bit because he's starting to throw the shots in combinations. He's starting to land the shots, but I'm telling you, every time he lands a shot, you can tell his level of opposition has not been this high. Because every time he lands a shot, he looks at the opponent like he's going to go down. And Moran ain't going nowhere, bro. Moran is jumping around, throwing punches back. But every time, we fought 6 rounds, every time Moran lands a shot, he's looking at Moran. Every time Torres lands a shot, he's looking at Moran like waiting for him to go down and waiting for him to wobble. The guy's not going anywhere, man. The first 11 opponents you fought weren't at this level. These guys stand up and fight back. You got to stay focused.
But neither was it their last chance.
Right. And you know what? No matter who win or lose, they might get another chance after fighting and competing like this.
Yep.
Well, they're on a platform that we are so proud and happy to be part of. You guys is true partners where we're going to give them the visibility that they do deserve. And right now, these 2 men are earning it.
Yep. And I'll tell you something else. If we do a second chance, last chance tournament, I would definitely throw the loser in this fight right back in.
Yes, sir.
Then will it be the
we might have like the Olympic trials, a loser's bracket and a winner's bracket.
Exactly.
Round 7. Ooh. Deepest Jeffrey Torres at 10-1 has gone in a professional fight. And we talked about the Puerto Rican handing the Mexican Antonio Moran his first loss years back. Looking ahead to our main event, Torres' only loss came to a Canadian. So Jean Pascal later in our main event with Mong Fan Long. This is our first of 4 quarterfinal matchups in our last chance 140-pound tournament.
You can tell that Moran realizes that Torres is in unfamiliar territory right now. He's picking up the pace because he knows Torres has never went 7 rounds. So now he's attacking him as to say, okay, I know something about you. I did my homework. You've never been 7 rounds. This round is virgin territory for you.
Hey, look, he's even hit on the break.
Exactly.
He's trying to get in his head.
That's a veteran move. He knows where he's at in the fight at all times. A lot of these guys got to learn how to win.
Yep. And look at that, Moran a few seconds ago not accepting the clinch.
Good uppercut.
And for Moran, his last 10 fights, 9 have been 10-rounders. The other was a 12-round fight. And he's gone the distance more than once.
That type of experience you can't buy. But Torres is going to be better for it if he falls short tonight. Good hook.
Now you see the body,
Great fights.
you see the body language. The body language says, I'm comfortable in the 7th round. And it says, one of them says, I'm not comfortable in the 7th round. You
Torres looking
understand
for
me?
clinches, while Moran looking to break those clinches and continue to throw the punches and combinations, force the action.
And this is a perfect example of how your mind plays tricks on you. If you don't believe you can, then your body starts to act likewise.
This is actually the first 8-round fight, Paulie, scheduled for Moran since 2016.
Yeah, yep. And he's been in 10 and 12 rounds the whole time.
Good jab.
See the right cheek of Torres swelling up.
But you see the body language of Torres too. He's not coming forward like he was last round. That 6th round, he treated it like it was his last round.
It's uncharted waters for Torres, and you can tell by his body language, like Roy was just saying, he got to get off that rope. Good right hand.
It's one thing knowing, as you look at your opponent's record, that you're probably going to have to go there. It's another thing actually being there live, right, Roy?
You better believe it.
Ooh, good shot.
We will head to the 8th and final round.
And this is the first of 3 tonight?
Yeah.
We in for a treat.
Último round, ¿va? ¿Estás listo para el último round, hijo? Esa pelea es tuya, ¿eh? Así ves cómo te suben las barbas, cabrón. Como te dije, mueve la cintura, ya vea, en combinaciones, pero adentro, hijo. Combina, pum, combina arriba, hijo. Y ya te estás aventando con la derecha, por eso estás recibiendo. No te avientes con la derecha, no te recibes.
No aflojes. No aflojes.
Inteligente. ¿Ahí, hijo? ¿Cómo has trabajado? Vamos. Inteligente, viejo. Demuéstrales, cabrón, demuéstrales que estamos aquí, ¿va? Tú eres feliz, güey. Ya vea. Con eso te hace adentro,
Último round. Hay que trabajar.
See that, as Moran was getting up off the stool, his trainer's telling him jab, jab, jab. Last round, basically telling him to just keep that control. They realize that Torres does not answer just when Moran just keeps that activity high.
Final 3 minutes of a gift to you, our great passionate fight fans. Less than a cup of coffee, $1.99 a month, $18 a year. Go to ProBoxTV.com, subscribe, and yes, for just that amount of money, you will see highly priced matchup in our main event of the evening for a great bargain. Jean-Pascal Montfan.
For $1.99, you already up on the cards. You got more than you bargained for right here already. If you pay $1.99 for this.
Torres trying to work his way in. He realizes he needs a knockout, but he's smothering himself. He's forcing his way in so much that he's not cognizant of the distance, proper distance that needs to be at to maximize his punching power. He's just working so hard to get inside that he's not even throwing. And again, he's not jabbing his way in. As the Mexico chain starting now.
Yeah, he's going to have to look for an exchange and just land that shot if you want to win this fight. But again, he matured right before our eyes. I like what I saw in Torres. He just fought a monster tonight.
And the crowd is into it, man.
Torres with a big overhand right.
And Torres didn't like those Mexico chants. He said, I came out to my cheers and my people cheering.
He got to follow that right hand up with a hook, though. He's landed it a few times, but a nice follow-up short hook could do some damage.
And that's the thing. That's been his problem all night. He hasn't followed up with that hook.
And when you go back and look at the tape, it's going to be his footing.
Yep.
It's going to be his balance
a lot
and
of
his
times
footing.
he comes up. Yep.
And you got to look at this, you guys. This will only be his second loss.
Yeah.
So this might not be his last chance.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
especially if he get in the gym and work on some of the stuff we've been talking about.
And now with this level of opposition, you learn.
Exactly.
And his loss was to an unbeaten 7-0 Canadian Josh Wagner. Roy and Antonio, it's nice to have Paulie to translate like 9 different languages for us. Paulie, when we get Jameen Wong and Mung Fan Long, can you handle that?
I can't do that. I can't do that. But Spudo took the cake cursing out the ref for me, though.
Accidental butt.
I'm going to start calling him Mr. Siri.
There you go.
Wow, accidental headbutt here.
Mr. Siri, Magic Man Light, Paulie Malignaggi, Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones Jr., Mike Goldberg. Final 30 seconds of our last chance quarterfinal. Torres again over the top.
Still one shot at a time. One shot at a time.
That's why he throws it like he expects the guy to go down when he lands it. He never comes up with another punch after. There, you see what happens when he does that? Just I say that, he keeps having a double hook. You see the success?
He hurt.
He was on our side of the rope.
Yeah, he hurt.
Our side of the rope for it.
Torres thinks he hurt him. Torres thinks he hurt him. Can he get one more counter shot in it?
What a fight! Let's go fighting. They were ready to go 10. Forget 8. They were ready to go 10. Good action, man. I'll tell you. Good action. This is worth your $1.99. Go to ProBoxTV.com right now. Get the rest of this tournament because we got 3 more quarterfinals tonight, plus your main event, Pascal versus Mong Fan Long. And then you're going to have it for the semis the next time we go and the finals. You want to watch the rest of the tournament? Subscribe now. $1.99 a month.
And I promise you they didn't want to go 10.
Great fight.
Yes, it was.
They went 8 in about 7 more seconds. They were battling after the fight.
I feel tired watching that fight. Man, that's the action you want. And then we're not even close to the main event. This is the undercard. We're still going with this tournament. More fights from the last chance tournament coming up. Like I said, subscribe, ProBoxTV.com to get the rest of the night's action.
And Jeffrey Torres, man, I still think he might have more upside than anybody in the tournament.
Without a question.
I'd pay to see Torres again. I think it's safe to say Moran won this fight. We don't know the scorecards, but I'll tell you, man, Torres has earned his keep. That's a fight you'll pay for.
Both fighters should be proud of themselves tonight.
You saw our Future Stars series, behind the scenes, inside the ropes content, daily podcast material with these 3 great champions and the continuation of our last chance tournament. ProBoxTV.com right now. The official decision has been rendered by the judges.
What's your name? Jeffrey. Who? Jeffrey. Jeffrey.
Here is Mark Lichtenfeld.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the scorecards, I want to remind you that the winner advances to the semifinals of the ProBoxTV Last Chance 140-pound tournament. And now, after 8 exciting rounds, we go to the scorecards. Joanne Richards scores the bout 79-73, while James O'Connor and Tito Wilgo both see it 77-75 for your winner by unanimous decision, Antonio Tonya
Moran. 2 scorecards. Had it 5 rounds to 3.
The favorite advances to the semifinals, but man, he was pushed to the limit.
Yes, he was.
Two judges had it 77-75. That's a 1-round swing.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that close. But the action, you know, it didn't look like a unanimous decision by the action that we saw from both guys tonight.
And that way you finish rounds, Roy, that you get that judge thinking, oh, I forgot about that first minute or so, right?
Yep.
This is the
That's exactly right. And the fact that he did that all night, he kept coming on at the end of the round. So sometimes the judges gave him credit for those rounds that he came on in because he finished strong. That's the last thing they remember.
I'll tell you another thing, man. If every fight in this tournament winds up this good, we're going to have to consider starting a loser's bracket, like they used to do in the Olympic trials and the amateurs.
I'm actually considering that now.
Yeah.
Because I want to see this kid again.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Most definitely.
Well, you guys are all partners in this ProBoxTV, so I
That's
think
why I
if you
said
say you want to do it, right, do it.
Yes.
And here's that action from that fight. You see, they started moving their hands from the go. I mean, Moran obviously was more fluid, and he was able to get more shots off. But what a fight. Action, good action fights. And Torres in those middle rounds started giving those little shoulder rolls with that right hand, and he was starting to land some good right hands.
Beautiful combination. And with the lessons Torres learned tonight, I bet you he's going to go back and watch this tape. He might ask for a rematch.
And he'll learn to come back with the hook, because when he does come back with the hook, he's even more dangerous.
Yep.
Torres is.
He grew up tonight right in front of our eyes, you know, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
And we got to see him again.
Antonio Moran, we will see again.